So, it's 5 o'clock. And I'm doing an early show. And there's a reason I'm doing an early show. I got a league game tonight. Got some big boy things I'm doing tomorrow. So, unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to get to you Chihuahuas. Just started a new job, a new area, which I can go into later. I'm going on the other end of the spectrum here, working with some really some students that really use that attention, but as well as the mentoring. But just to kind of wait till we get some viewers on. If you're on now, I got tons of cool stuff to talk, and I probably won't even get through it all. But I think the biggest thing out of it all, there's one clarification that I really have to do. If you saw our video when we won Sacramento, like the award part, which I'm going to go into after this. But just to kind of get our evening started and stuff, I'm going to show you something. Volume 2, 2021, best middle shots from the conference.
Central Time here in Minnesota. Ramirez makes the play, pitches the second on the first double play. Dan Smith.
Check it out. Middle war.
Third to get nothing. Score remains 18-9 Dan Smith.
There you go, 18-9 Dan Smith, bottom of 3.
Come on, Ford.
Oh, liner off of Thornbar gets out. Stream looks like they're down 23-19.
Good, Lionel. Middle shots. This is off of YouTube. You can catch these. Oh, that was a blister. Another good middle shot right here.
They got mad at me last time. They wanted to kill me.
Almost had.
That one's actually a middle war that you won't get too upset. At least I guess if I was pitching, I wouldn't get too upset there. But this is where it kind of started last year, and I love Branch. Branch is the guy who's there for his teammates, backs them up, and he don't back down to anybody, he don't call anybody out. And I've seen this kind of happen between Collins and Branch. Even when I was in Vegas, I remember there was some jarring at the beginning of the year. This is last year, 2021. Middle shots.
Mondo's up 8. We're going to come over here for a minute. Oh, wow.
That's the second pitcher got hit. Okay.
My Chihuahua is all I can say with those guys. You know, one thing I do want to say, last weekend, or there's been, different times or whatever, but, there's two ways, I guess, when it comes to middle wars. If you're playing E and D, maybe some C probably, you get it middle's open. Wow! And everyone gets crazy and does stupid shit, and people start saying, I'm going to do it, and I do it. This is the difference between immature people playing softball and professionals, okay? And at the B level, you heard it more like when I've umpired stuff, E, Ds, and some Cs, it gets a little loud in that aspect. But last weekend we had kind of some middle shots going back and forth. And I was telling our 5-man and other people, I go, dude, when it comes to upper ball, professional type hitters and stuff, they don't talk about it. They just do it. It's kind of like a secret assassin. You go out there, and if you get a ball to go grilled straight up the gut and not, try to have back control, avoid the pitcher, that's what happens. That's what they do. And that's why, you can also see the maturity level. I'm saying, I get immature at times, in our 40s or whatever, but whatever. But a big part of it is, when there's middle wars at the upper level, they don't talk about it. You don't hear people gawking and whatever. It just happens. You got to expect it. And your 5-man usually should kind of float in the middle and say, hey, expect, like I was telling our 5-man, expect some middle shots because, we had our number 4 hitter one time hit a ball up the gut against Harrows that just clickered off and went to first base, and they ended up getting him out. But that following inning, we had about 6-7 middle shots, even a home run up the middle for a home run. And that's when I was telling our 5-man, you guys got to pinch the middle. You got to expect it. If a pitcher's getting hit, going straight back opposed to the hole, you got to expect it. And when I say expect it, that means you got to just be close there. Pinch your middle holes, man, because that's just a professional way of doing it. I remember a long time ago when I was getting hit up, and Mater was, trying to get me on the Smith B team, and he just kind of talked about their unwritten rules. And he told me, I remember that. Actually, I already ended up going to classic class, but Mater, who's running the B Smith team, he was telling me, because one of our unwritten rules, like anytime people go up the middle on our pitcher or hit our pitcher, I don't care. The next 3 hitters or that whole inning, we're just devoting blowing the box. And you don't talk about it, you just do it, okay? And it's kind of like how it goes. And I do, and talking about that and the different perspectives and the way people handle things, whether you're upper, lower, or I don't know, whatever you want to call it, I'm going to add to that. But before I go to that, I do want to talk about last weekend. Last weekend we persevered. We lost a tough game to Harrows. We had to come back Sunday at 9:30 and beat a team that you never know. They can get hot, and they have a lot of big players. I can't remember, but it's Dan Romero's team with a good little squad there. And I even saw Spivey. I didn't recognize Spivey until afterwards. We were shaking hands, but we had to beat them and then double dip in Harrows, which we had big games. A lot of good things are happening. It's a 3-day tournament. It was 8 games for us to win this tournament. And it's good things. But, something along the ways, I'm going to go into our awards, but along the ways, you hear a little this and a little that, or they think about a game. But, it's amazing how so many people kind of just only remember the present of the game and not the whole tournament. And why I'm saying that is because sometimes somebody may have a great tournament, but they'll have one off game, and people remember the off game, and then they get awarded an all tourney or something, and people are like, wow, I didn't think he hit that well. And that's why I think it's so vital to show the book, to see the consistency of players and what they're doing. Because when you're hiding the book, and like I said, people will say, I don't care about awards, but everybody cares about awards. And they have different ways to respond on it, okay? But, to me, like I had a kind of a philosophical conversation, like, should you give an award to somebody more for having a great Sunday, opposed to, they had a great Sunday, but they didn't do too well on Friday or Saturday? Well, my way in that conversation is what I told people. I said, you got to remember, like when these other people were struggling and that guy was hot, a great team, a major plus team, conference teams, you're going to have guys that are consistent, but sometimes you're going to have an off game, and that's where your teammates pick you up. Sometimes you're going to have multiple guys, but people forget the things that the other guys were doing to pick up that slack. We might have had a guy had a bad game, and I have complete faith in the game, and I told the guy I would always want you in that position. But I told him, I go, man, throughout this tournament, you hit some big home runs and got some big hits for us. And it's funny how sometimes people forget that after the chat, and you get caught in the motion in the game, and you go with that short-term memory. And that's why it's so important to see the book, follow the book. I think things that besides the on-base percentage, I also think you should put how many runs scored. If a guy's scoring a lot of runs, that means he's getting on base a lot, or getting base hit doubles, or not being forced out. But something we used to do it a lot, especially when I had a lot more say with sponsors and stuff. When you're doing the book, and let's say your 5-man does an incredible dive and fields the ball, put a little star by his name for those great plays. Because those, offense wins the games, but defense wins championships. And I remember telling Tom Formosa this because, in the day he built his teams more on offense than defense. And I told him, I go, Tom, we want to be on the hitting side of the game longer than the defensive side of the game. And if we don't have defense and we got a big bunch of pie eaters and stuff, we're going to be spending as much time on the field while those teams are hitting the same way we're hitting. Okay? You should not rely on your team. You shouldn't rely on your team winning because the other team isn't hitting. Defense always plays a part. And that's why I always think, what's up, Memo? Good to see you. I hope everything's well. But I always think when guys are making great plays, big plays, put little diamonds. And I'm not talking routines. If someone takes one off the chest, off a laser, That's a good play. Outfielders diving, that's a good play. An outfielder throwing someone out, that's a good play. You know, a 5-man making a great double play turn on a bad feed or something. You know, you can see what's becoming routine and not routine, you know. But I always say in the box, you should put those little things in there. Couple shout outs to my teammates. Something a lot of you guys don't know about our Fat Boys prestige team is that we have a handful of 55-year-olds on our team. Just like 40s have 50 guys, we got some 55s. Our 5-man, I believe, is 55 eligible this year. And he bats leadoff. And he was all tourney, and he got hot. The last Sunday he got hot. I think he made 1 out, and I just bumped his average from the mid-6s to close to 800. And you remember that, you know. Sometimes you hear comments, oh, you know, his Sunday or his day wasn't as good, but then you look at the average, which nobody knows, and you're like, the dude's almost at 800, even only hitting a little over 600 on Saturday or on Sunday, you know. That's why the book's key, and it's not about average, but it's also the hustle on the defense, hustle on the bases and stuff, especially when you guys have, you know, really close. But that's just something I want to add. But big shout out I want to do. Somebody who's been up there very consistent, very hard to out hit, is B. Hunt, our first baseman, kind of rover in the infield, third base if you need him, shortstop if you need him. But, you know, I believe he led our team in average. Only JBI because he played it in every game. Okay? JBI? Let me give you some credit there. But I'm going to talk about you too later, JBI. But B. Hunt, our first baseman, he posted a great picture of him making the last catch. Another guy I'm talking about is our 5-man, Todd Johnson, lefty leadoff guy. When you look at this guy, you just see a ball player, old-fashioned guy. And I told him, you got to go to the high socks, Todd, because he's got the Fu Manchu, you know, the way he wears his hat. He just looks like that old-school ball player like you would have saw in the movie 8-Man Out. So that's another gentleman that I'm also sharing, okay? And then, oh, boy, I'm tired. You could tell I'm back at work. Look at that. Wow, okay. Yeah, I am tired. Another guy is he's our 4th outfielder. You know, he'll catch at occasion. I always call him Columbo, bro. And I think it's Joe Palumbo, and he's always been affiliated with the Fat Boys and, you know, that group of Cammy and all those guys. But our center fielder hit it very well, hit some big home runs when they moved him to the 4-hole, because that's all you got to kind of do when you have a big roster like ours. You know, after a couple games, and it's not like on our team you have a bad game and they move you. It's kind of like throughout the day, and if you're winning, you kind of do that. And I thought that was a great coaching move. And I don't say that because you know I back my teammates and everything else, but you know, sometimes you just got to kind of do that kind of thing just to change it up, push people, and get them moving. Okay, but Palumbo, also a member of our award team. Well, I try to go on the JBI show Sunday night because he kind of did a little quick recap, and I told him I got to talk to him. I didn't even tell him why. The reason I want to go on is because I'm an emotional guy. If you see me, I'm an emotional guy. I'm a deep guy. I'm very passionate guy. And obviously, I got one of my good buddies right now, you know, beat cancer. Now he's got a new cancer that, you know, we're all praying that he can beat it. But, you know, I had talked to him. The last time I talked to him was Greg, obviously, was just before they took him in. And then I got calls and I found out what happened, and I didn't really go into depth and I didn't talk about it. I just kind of eternalized it and kept it within myself, you know, and love the guy and going on and telling the world, I mean, how much courage and guts, because sometimes, you know, I don't know how, everybody handles things differently, but I see my buddy Greg go on there and tell the world, you know, what he's going through right now in the second stage of this battle that he's been on, going on over 2 years, I want to say. 1 year, you know, over a year and a half. And a lot of courage, but to go out there and say it. And like, you know, the way the body works and functions, when we're happy and we're smiling and we're happy, that's some of the best medicine that we can have for our body. So if you get a chance, he's at South San Francisco Kaiser, room 77. Give him a call. He'd love to hear you. But the first time that I actually had a good long conversation with Greg since the time I found out he was at Kaiser, where he sat in their all night emergency before they found him a room, and they could kind of figure out what's going on with them, even though it's been going on for a longer period of time. I played some tag, and right when I drove to the ballpark Sunday morning, I got a phone call and I saw him. It said Serna. So we had a talk, I told him I'm playing for you, I'm there with you, brother, and I love you. And we just had that deep emotional talk, shed a tear. But kind of going to my point, I was blessed again on the Serna, the 2022 Serna tour, where I've been, since Vegas, I've been playing with him. And every tournament, with our Fat Boys Prestige team, I've been blessed to be awarded by our coach and performing at a level, above, higher than average, because of how hard our roster is, man. I mean, you had guys hitting 725, 740, not even making the all tournament team. I mean, you pretty much had to hit over 7. I think the lowest average on the guys on the thing was like a 735, maybe a 745. We had a couple guys over 800. You had 3 of us in the high 7s, close to 8. But I was awarded this. And if you watch the video, I was sitting there, and when I was awarded, I just did my little prayer. Actually, in left field, when we won last catch, I did my little prayer. I said, Greg, man, Serna, this is for you. I know you're here with me. We got in line. I think you kind of have a feel if you had a good enough tournament that you'd had. And I felt that I had a very good tournament. My Sunday wasn't as good as it was Friday and Saturday, but it was still a good Sunday. But, when people are accustomed to you performing at a very high level and you get a 2 for 4, sometimes people look at you like, ooh, you had an off game. And yeah, it's an off game, but it isn't a bad game. But, going into Saturday or Sunday, I had only made 2 outs. And then Sunday, I made 1, 2, 2. So I made 5 outs Sunday in 3 games. A 3 for 4. What was it? 3 for 4, a 2 for 3. A 2 for 4, 2 for 3, and I want to say a 2 for 5 or something like that. But my average was still way up there, and I played some very strong defense. But when I was awarded the award, I got choked up. I had my sunglasses, but you couldn't see that I actually started shedding a tear and stuff. And then I went into, A-ball to shake his hand and stuff. I'd do the hug or I'd go down the line like I normally would because I was very choked up. And after we won the tournament, I was going to wear my Serna Strong shirt on the line. But it kind of went quick. So after I was awarded, if you watch the tape, when we're getting our awards, I have it on mine, JBI has it on his. You see me shake hand. It doesn't seem so personal. I turn around and then you just see me walk. And I don't even stop at the line because I got choked up and I just started crying. And I said, brother, Greg, we did it again. We did it together. Since I've done the Serna dedication tour, every tournament I've played with Fat Boys, I've gotten all-tourney. And I would say 2 of the 4 with front row, I've had all-tourney. And that's another team hard to get that. So since I've done the tour, I've had 6 all-tourneys in 8 tournaments. And it's very hard with the people you play with and stuff. But I got choked up. I went straight, and I was crying. It wasn't crazy crying. I don't think people saw him. But, I'm bringing this up because I don't want you to think that I'm selfish. I didn't care about my teammates or being there for the next guys that got awarded. I got choked up. I walked away. I went straight to the dugout. I went to my area, in the dugout, and I grabbed my Serna shirt. And what I really wanted was in our team picture, because if you look at our team picture, I'm holding our Serna Strong shirt here. And I just want to do that clarification because, you kind of look at the tape, and when you look at the tape, it kind of looks like I don't care about our team or anything like that. Just give me what's mine, and I left. And I just want to share that's not the case. I got choked up. I started crying. I was very emotional. So just to let you guys know, if you watch the tape and you see me just kind of do like not that really close, maybe I should have given a big hug, but I was so caught up and choked up. I thought about Greg. I thought about getting my shirt. And, one track mind, I just did there, went, got it, Still kind of choked up. Still kind of took my time walking in. I don't know if you see it, but you look at the tape. I'm looking at the sky. I'm just looking around. I'm just kind of in a daze. Okay. So I'm actually saying this to my teammates as well as you all, that I don't want you to think I'm insensitive. I didn't care who performed well or not supporting you guys, but I got very emotional. You know, I have a long-lasting relationship with Greg that started in 1999. We became very much closer, but we became kind of, you know, playing against each other when he was playing sportsman stuff in 96. And then, you know, we started, you know, then I remember talking to him, got him to play with my buddy Garlic World team. And then that tournament, our sponsor and someone else approached him and said, hey, Greg, he looked good that weekend. And we brought him over to Senko on our team. And that's where our friendship grew and flourished. He'd come down to the biker rallies. But, yeah, so I just want to tell my teammates and stuff that when I walked away and I did what I did, because I know sometimes they don't get me, that is why I walked away. I got choked up. I had my shades on, shed some tears, had to go in. Wanted to make sure we had the Serna shirt for the picture, which we did. And that was it, man. That's just where we went, okay? I've been mailing out a lot of the Serna shirts. I got a new job. I'm overlooking over here. Now I'm at a continuation alternative high school because it's not that big a school and they don't really have special ed people and stuff. And they need people to help service these students. And it's going to be a challenging group and et cetera, which I love the challenge. But it's been busy and that's why I've been tired. I started meetings yesterday and we're doing this. But I started sending out, and I still have about 4 or 5 to send out. And et cetera. Danielle, I'll be sending your medium out. So, yeah. But I do want to share the little apparel company that we got going, West Coast Legends Apparel. And now when you start seeing this, you're going to know that we made these. We got that. I just want to show you some other ones, dude. My first big ball traveling ball team, I want to say, was 12 gauge. And I still keep in contact with Bobby B, and all of them. And they gave me a call, and we just printed out some old 12 gauge shirts. And obviously, I'm the Hall of Fame number 3s, and there was no 3s on that. So just because I'm a 12 gauge, I love Bobby B, and I love all those guys, I made myself a 12 gauge shirt. Number 3. And that's where it all started, as a third baseman playing for that team. Another jersey we also made, which I do want to show, is we made these for this. If you're at Manteca this weekend, they're having, I think, a PG&E tournament. And we made a share of shirts that are kind of loud and fluorescent. They said Whelp. The team's called Whelp. And they also have the West Coast Legends Apparel logo on there. But also, I just got these in. And we also made these for the staff this weekend out there. West Coast WCL Apparel. And there it is, the logo. And all the staff is wearing number 17. So if you're interested, I mean, can you wear these for tournaments and stuff? Yeah, but I mean, I like making them not so tough. To me, if you want to order some top-notch jerseys and you have the budget to spend, which is probably about $25. I saw these cheaper, $25. I would say go to Supreme Athletics and Sammy. Obviously, you can go to Los with Elite. You can go with Premier. But, you know, if you're in Northern California, somebody who's really doing very well with this apparel company is Sammy and Supreme Athletics. And he isn't, you know, he is a very generous person when it comes to his teams and people he sponsors. He's always making, I mean, I was asking him, oh man, Sammy, how many shirts have you made this year for their team? And he goes, well, I'll put it this way, Leroy. He goes, my team, which is now a Major Plus, he goes, my team is yet to wear their shirt twice. You know, he'll make it for that day and they wear it. Obviously, it was different for a 3-day event, but yeah. So I would say go out there and support Supreme Athletics and Sammy. Pacific Apparel with Roy Vasquez out there in the Valley. Stockton, I think he is. Yeah, Stockton area. You know, you have Supreme. You have Sharky Apparel. But if you need something more for league and you're not looking to spend as much, not spend art fee or whatever, you can give me a jingle, and my turnaround time has been anywhere from 2 to 3 weeks, but I would say 3 weeks because I understand how anxious people get to get their stuff. But sharing that. Obviously, CBD is going good. If you haven't got yourself doing CBD and stuff, and I'm gonna start getting myself some people to start selling on the top of California and the lower part of California, because we're gonna go CBD crazy. And if you're not doing it, Obviously, you know, JBI gave him some samples. Have him give you a couple squirts, see how it goes. I always have them. And my good buddy Memo also has them done in Southern California if you want to try it. But you can always reach out to me and get your CBD, whether it's 3,000 or 1,000. That's right, CBD life. Okay? So, I'm going to go to the next thing. When I was talking, like, earlier in the start, I was talking about middle wars and how people go about middle wars. And middle wars, put this aside. Middle wars, you know, the professional way, no one's talking about it and stuff. But in a sense, what I do want to share was something that somebody posted up on Facebook after playing last weekend when they tried to, or when their team got bumped, they're playing Major Plus. And he put this post on there. So I'm going to read it, and then I'm going to talk about it a little bit more. Okay? So here's the post. I'm not going to give the gentleman's name. You may have read it. It's right there. Okay? It says something with comp is. I wanted a screenshot I got. Forget what competition, like what it looks like online. You just aren't ready for how hard the balls are coming at you or how far they go. And please, save the BS about bats. These guys make every play and they capitalize on your mistakes. That is absolutely correct. I saw a very large human being bigger than me dive in the hole in the grass at shortstop and without getting up to even his knees, make the throw to first. That's not real. When 4 guys in a row are swinging a bat with their name on it, you better buckle that chin strap. That was the most my heart had thumped playing ball in a long time. I'm glad I had the opportunity and look forward to it. Okay? And yeah, you know, a lot of people, they learn by their own experience and them playing the game, you know? But I also say, I play with a lot of people. And obviously when I play, my approach to the game, the way I play the game, the way I think about the game is really a lot different than a lot of people. Especially when I play with different people in California and stuff. I mean, people who play conference ball, higher level ball, a lot of them relate. Like when I'm playing defense with people who have played higher than the B level and stuff, we're always talking, we're figuring out ways to get guys out. Okay? And that's kind of what I'm saying in regards to this post. You know? My game has been evolved. You know, especially in the Major Plus, I mean, since I've been playing 40s, you know, when I was in my day, I was pretty much a B player in NorCal, you know, an impact player. And that's what upper ball was in Northern California. But my mindset, the way I play the game, and obviously changing, because when I started playing 40, you're playing against Hall of Famers. You know, you're playing against Dennis Ruley, Denny Crine, I played against Jason Branch, you know, Wolf, playing with Reebok, you know, Bryson Baker, Johnny Bailey, you know, Dennis Schrum, keep going, Tim Bowser's current, you know, a lot of these guys. But the way they play the game, the way they do things, we just connect better, and we're all on the same page, trying to figure out a way to get a guy out. Where to me, when you're playing most of your life E, D, maybe a little bit of C, or you're playing nothing but AAA and a little bit of major, you're pretty much going to be in the same defensive position every time. And a lot of those games are won basically if the other team doesn't hit as well as you. Defense comes into place, but I don't see that much smart positioning or going in different areas to get people out. And that's what I mean. When you have a guy like this talking about it, you know, telling people, you know, oh, you got to see this and see that and get it. But that's the thing I want to say. Whether you're hearing it from me or other great ambassadors of the game, not saying I'm an ambassador, or go watch conference games on the screen. Watch what the first baseman's doing. You know, it drives me nuts when I see our first baseman. I don't understand when I'm not thinking, you know, here's the line with 2 strikes, and they're like there. You know, like Tim Bowser with front line on our team. Front row, he's way the heck off. Or I'm watching some of these conference teams. Their first base is way off. They're saying, beat me down the first baseline, beat me down the third baseline. Even when we're playing Harrah's this past weekend, who has a lot of A and B players, guys who were even members on Combat there was a year that Combat won the A and the B, and I almost want to say the C. But they challenge you down the first baseline and down the third baseline, okay? And to me, I look at it, why aren't other people thinking about it? And then I have to sit back and think, It's the experience you bring or how much you're absorbing. You know, it's kind of going back to averages. People only think the presence of mind for that game, but not 8 games. And that's why I think it's important. I think it's important, like the start of every bay, everybody should know where you're hitting. I think I would leave the book on the bench because everybody know. I mean, I always know where I'm at. You know, when the tournament's over, I know specifically, you know, how many hits I had per at bats, and then I calculated, and I get a general idea. If you're a good hitter, a professional hitter, I'll guarantee everybody knows where they're at. Everybody. But to put that book on the bench to reiterate, so not only you know it, but the whole team knows who's where, who's hot. Last weekend, you know, I was saying B. Hunt, Derek Williams, I mean, those guys could not do wrong. Hitting balls off gloves, guys misplaying balls, not taking any away, you know, not fielding it, whatever. They could not do wrong. And those are those things. And I just said, man, B. Hunt, man. I remember saying, I think maybe after 16, 17 at-bats starting the tournament, I go, fuck, I think that was his first out. But not everybody's like that. But I think it's really nice and good for all your teammates to know where everybody's at. Because it also helps to pick, you know, I mean, that's just part of a team. I mean, conference, everybody knows what they're batting. Sure, if you want to go check out the book, they're going to tell you what you're batting. But I think that's a really important piece in regards to that. Okay? So, moving forward, if you happen to be one of those teams that gets bumped, you're moved up. And, you know, I say that. And I say that a lot of times. You know, sometimes we don't bring people to play over my years or whatever. Because what can happen, people get starstruck. You know, like he posted, the first 4 hitters have their names on the bat. And that's JK. And I can really think the top 4 batters. And I don't think he's had his name on his bat, but I can see it. Because the first 4 hitters, I'm going to assume, for JK was Bryson Baker. I want to say Ellie, Johnny Bailey. I know they all have 3 bats. And then you have Mike Brambilla, who's also hit for the long haul bomber. So I'm almost thinking those are the first 4 guys on that lineup. So I'm going to say those are the first probably 4 guys he was referencing. But when you play those teams, you can't be starstruck. You know, you got to remember, they got a heart, they got a pancreas, they got a skull, they got 2 feet. They put their shoes on the same way and they breathe the same way. And even if you're a youngster, man, you got to play against those teams. I used to look forward when I was younger, playing on Classic Glass, Senko, Bullies, you know, missing with the trot, whatever. And you're playing those major teams. I'm like, yeah. And watching them so much, I get familiar with their tendencies. I play tendencies. It's underhand. Yeah, they can hit it anywhere. Correct. But why the hell do we going to give that same hitter the same goddamn hole every fucking time to hit? Play the game. Play the game to win. Don't play to just sit there and be all, ha, 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 make friends. Because those great players want you to be soft. They want you to talk to them on the bases. Say, yeah, and have those friendly conversations or whatever. Because they want you out of your game. I love when guys get out of their game and I see them chatting here. I let them chat away. I don't get into it, but I let them talk. Because if they're talking to me or talking about this and the world or whatever, they're not talking ball. And if you see a lot of great players, great winners, during the game, they're talking ball. They're at the front. I mean, that's why you watch conference teams, the great teams. They're all standing out there and they're in tune and they're following the game. And they're in that batter's box with their teammate. And you see the other teams, you know, they got the boom boxes. They're just kicking back. They're in the stands with the honeys. They're going here. They're going there. They're doing all this stuff. You know what I mean? So something in regards to that, I always say, hey, I got someone coming on, so I'm going to let him come on. See if it works. Hopefully. John Hernandez. Oh, it's not going to let you, Bubba. Sorry. I just said that. But you got to play against these teams. You got to, like, pay attention, you know? And challenge them. You know, you got to, like, say, okay, this guy's all blowing right side, blowing middle, 2 strikes, make them beat us here. Don't just sit there and let them have their way with you, because then you're going to get smashed. And that's where I think sometimes veterans or IQ softball guys help teams win. I mean, I play left field, and I'm not in the same spot. I play the hitter. I like to know if they're off the plate or not, because if they're off the plate, I tend to give them more line than not. And most of the times I got burned down the line last weekend were just perfect balls. If this is the foul line, so many balls were in that area where if I was even probably in a regular left field, they would have caught them. But the thing is, how many balls did I catch in the gap? Or how many times did a guy try to beat me down the line and they popped it up and I'm running as hard as I can, catching balls in the air. Because, you know, when a guy's forcing the ball, sometimes you're going to pop them up. But that's how I suggest you guys getting bumped up or you beat teams. You got to be familiar with the player and you got to play to beat them. And playing to beat them doesn't mean, okay, I'm going to pitch every fucking ball inside. I'm going to pitch to my defense. That guy destroys the right side and you going inside on him. He's going to go outside because the damn dude is off the freaking plate. Like I talk to my teammates, something I've kind of learned talking to my good buddy Derek Williams, who kind of matures me a lot more. So on my team, I tell guys things just to look at, or even other people. I go, when you're watching a game, like I was talking to Ryan Smith, I go, watch the hitters right now. As you're observing this game, because they're not playing, they're just in the stands watching. Do your homework. That's what it's called, doing your homework. I go, look at the hitter. Every time you see a hitter that much far off the plate, most 9 out of 10 times, they're looking to go middle, backside. If they're on it, they're looking to pull. If they're in the middle, then they're going gap to gap. I'm not saying they can't go here or there, but, you know, tendencies. It's like watching a guy hit BP, not focusing on the side. Look where all those balls are gathered after hitting 100 softballs. That gives you an idea. Their tendencies. Tendencies are there in softball, the same way they are in hardball. If you played a high-level hardball or play for a strong high school program, you're going to be familiar with hitting charts, pitching charts, everything charts. I mean, things I even do my homework on is when those guys, they see like you don't think you're going to run, and they just kind of bloop the ball. And many times I try to time the bloop and get that base and make them look like a fool. But that's how you beat upper teams. Am I going to beat them most of the time? Maybe not, because they may have a little bit more talent. But, you know, but to get an opportunity to beat them, you got to do those little things. You got to find a way to beat them. You got to challenge them. Don't just sit back and let them have their way with you. Because, like I said, if you let them have your way with you and you kind of just sit there and put them on a higher pedestal, you're going to get smashed. So many times I remember playing and just teams didn't even try to play us, try to beat Prestige, try to beat Classic, and they just gave it the games to us. We didn't have to play our best game. And then, you know, you have those games that, hey, man, we're going to get our average up here because these guys are not even trying. Take it personal, man. I mean, if you get beat, try not to get 15 rand or 10 rand. Compete. Play hard. Play to beat them. Do your homework. Don't go out there. It's like a student going to a test. He didn't do his homework. How the hell is he going to know what the hell to be successful on the test if you're not doing your homework? Correct? Give me a minute. I got some revolution going on for you right now. Okay? But I'm going to finish up that chat right there. That sun is just too much in my face. All right. Okay. So going back to average and stuff, I do want to say something with JBI. JBI has been doing very well on our team. And then with Prestige, I tell people, you guys don't give him credit. He's my good buddy and stuff, but I'm always the kind of guy I give credit. And just because he's my buddy, I'm not going to be all, I'm not a fisherman. I'm not making up stories, you know. I'm honest and I'm truthful. I mean, there's not too many people that are really close friends of mine that play softball that I've actually gotten on softball teams I'm on. Because I don't know if they're ready or they're able to put that commitment or whatever. But the thing with JBI, and I told many people this in Texas, and I told some of our people here, but I said JBI is the kind of guy, let him play, anybody, let him play, let him do his thing. And when you are writing him, or any player, but when you're writing him about making outs or how they're playing, people tend to press, okay? When we play in Texas and stuff, I tell Rob, man, you're just fishing. You're going for anything. Watch your at-bats that we have, Rob. You're hitting low pitch, high, and I just tell him do that. But when we're fat boys, same thing. I tell him, just let him play. And I even told, like, different people that were watching him play in Vegas, that when we had some front row guys out there playing with the fat boys, I go, he hits better with us for the fact that nobody rides him. Because then you're going to press. Any hitter's going to press. because they want to show you up. And the kind of guy JR, competitor, is, if you're trashing him about his hitting, he's going to try to show you up. And he's going to try to prove you wrong. But with proving wrong comes a lot of pressing. And, that's kind of what I mean. You don't want to press your teammates. And pressing your teammates is by even joking with them. I'm sensitive guys. Like, they made a little joke about me saying, because I rarely take a break in left. I go the whole time. But I think I took an inning off here and an inning off there because we have the other 3 outfielders just kind of rotating. So they kind of did that, right? But, they made a joke. I don't think you would have caught that. I go, bullshit. I catch everything. I cover a lot of ground. Sometimes I feel a lot of times I've never got the kind of credit. Or I'm not Fonger fast, right, Darren? Fonger fast is this. Little stride. I take long strides. If you watch some front row, there's a time that I do a cocker roller. And if you watch me, I get down that line pretty quick. There's a couple catches I made out there in Texas where I'm playing right center, but I felt the lefty was going to do a pull, and he popped it up trying to get me down the line. I'm on a dead sprint. I'm making these catches. I may not look like the fastest guy, but I track. I track balls. I get a jump. I bust tail. I'm a kind of guy that gets base hit doubles. I go first to third. I score from first. But when people are razzing me saying that I'm not that quick or stuff, it kind of gets under my skin because I'm a realist. If I was slow, I would say I was slow. If I was going to hurt a team in the outfield, I wouldn't go out there because the kind of teams I am, as he said, giving free outs to great teams is going to hurt, but I'm a realist. But sometimes, and, talking to different people, and even one of my coaches, they're like, man, you're like one of the best secrets nobody knows. Nobody puts you in that same realm. Maybe that's what I'm talking right now. Maybe that's why JBI talks as much as he does, because he's a great pitcher. He gets it done. I've always said my years of Prestige, most wins we've ever had was with JBI. And if there's any pitcher, and no disrespect to everybody, but if there's one pitcher I know, and I feel very confident that we're going to win a game when we need to win a game, is with JBI, whether it's in 50s or 40s, okay? He kisses the 12-foot arc. He's not saying, I'm going to pitch to the fucking defense going in and in and in. And go figure, that's why he's whooping everybody's asses. That's why he has a lot more W's than losses, because he's outthinking the hitter. To me, a good defense plays the hitter. We're not going to say, okay, we're all going to be on the pull side because our pitcher's going to pitch inside. Well, if the fucking hitter, as I've said quietly and loudly, if the guy's off the box, like way off the plate, your inside pitch is an outside corner pitch. If a guy's looking to go middle backside, that is why purposely they're off the plate, to get the arms extended, throw them out, and every pitch is to go outside. But still, a lot of people don't get that concept. Another concept I don't understand, to do proof to my philosophy or my hypothesis, those of you, and I've done this a couple times on my show, if you do the book, do more for your team to win the book. It drives me mad not knowing that you have coaches who do the book that don't say a peep to your defense. Because it gets in the hitter's head. Twice down the line. Twice up the middle. Twice 3-4 hole. And then the guy does it again. Because we didn't say shit. If you say it twice every time, that guy may say, I'm going to do that. There's times I'm purposely verbal, loud, catching when I've done it on front row or playing infield. He went here, loud, and then I see the guy change his swing to do something different. Okay? But if you do a book, and I talked about tendencies, like math scatter plots. Okay, I'm math-minded. Maybe that's why I pick this stuff up. But when you're doing, guys, every box, you should do this. Okay? Like his first at, like every box that he bats, his first at bat, boom. Second at bat, boom. Next at bat, boom. So where do you think I would put most of my defense? Right? This is supposed to be first base. First baseman, you can come off the line, not shackled. Third baseman, you don't have to be shackled to the line. You can come off into the 5-6 hole. And if the guy beats you with a perfect ball down the line, don't say, fuck, I got to guard the line. Because to me, even when I was in my heyday playing a lot of strong third base in my mid-20s, I never stood on the line. Only one guy would put me there. And remember Molina? Molina would literally keep hitting that ball down the line to a point you literally had to do that to change him up because he'll keep doing it and get those hits in. But it just never understood me that people don't play the hitter. Okay, that's not thinking man softball. If you're going to beat these upper teams, you're going to beat these great hitters. You got to go with the strong-minded softball. That's what I'm talking. What's up, Serna? And it's also putting your box, the way that you need to do that. And if you're not doing that, then you're just, you're just hurting yourself. And you got on your team. If you got the book, every hitter this way, that way, the same way I do it. So this way, I'm not yelling at my people because I want my teammates to be ready. Not say they're not ready, but I want them because you get caught in the motion and sometimes you lose track of what's happening, who's here, who's there, or whatever's going on. Okay. Surprise! Surprise! Would you just get a rub down right now, buddy, with the sponge bath or what?
No, my daughter's giving me a back rub.
Oh, okay. Hey there, Goofy Serna.
Hi, Leroy.
Hi there, sweetie. I'm hoping to get up there soon with you, Greg. How's it go? Was that? You always had a little tattoo on the stomach?
No, that's my port right there.
Oh, okay.
And then that's just my skinny ass body with more, my that mark right there is where they're going to do the radiation tomorrow. So I start my first round of radiation.
Okay.
And then,
I heard some news for this Friday from someone else. Is there a possibility you're going to be able to go home on Friday?
No, I won't be home probably till Monday.
Monday? Okay.
Yeah.
Monday.
So.
Well, Greg, I don't know if you were able to see the stream games or what I was saying before, buddy, but, as I said, I dedicated the year. I had to get my shirt. When I earned our award, I got choked up, and like I said on the video, you see me just walk away. It's just because I was
I seen that you walked away.
You're feeling the vibe, but I was talking to you, brother.
Yeah.
But I'm glad you came out because another thing I do want to share that with the shirts and just little things in here and there, I just kind of bumped it up, and I'm going to be sending you $300, buddy. It's not much, but every little thing helps, and just to make this journey not so bumpy, man. So, guys, I do want to give a shout out to is Chris Mann and Jose Hernandez, because combined they sent me $200 and they only ordered 3 shirts, and they say just give you the rest. Joseph Prock, our bad guy, bought 2. A lot of people are just sending. I mean, they were even paying for a handful of them paid for the shipping, and the envelopes and stuff, and just giving money. Our good buddy Memo Felix, he sent me, buddy, because obviously I've been giving you some CBD. So what he did, he sent me money to actually buy you some CBD. So I'm gonna send some more CBD, and I made you give me a promise, dude. So when you go home, you better stay with your promise with me, man.
I know. I am.
Good man. Good man.
You mean the world to me, Leroy. You're an awesome human being. And what people think about you on the field, well, you know what? You're there to win. You're a winner. You've proven that to me since the day that we started playing together. You know what I mean? You don't change your ways because you're proven as an elite athlete in softball, right? That I respect.
Wow, Greg.
And then you as a human being, dude, your kindness to other people, dude, and the kids that you work with, dude, is incredible what you do, man. You and Rob, man, are just part of my life, dude, till the day I take my last breath. I cherish our moments, our talks, you know what I mean? It's tough, I'm on a tough battle. It's pancreatic cancer, and it's no good. There's no cure. It's fast. Don't know how much it is longer. I don't want to know. I'll know when I start getting really sick. and hopefully, you'll be by my side when that day does come, because, you're part of
Been
me.
with you with day one, Bubba. I may not be next to you physically, but I'm with you every day, and you're always in my heart.
Mhm.
And I'm always trying to reach out with you. Life gets busy and stuff, but if I'm not talking to you on a day, man, you're right there with me the whole time, man.
I
Just
know.
like you were with me this whole weekend, last weekend, and just Sunday, same thing. Even when I was catching balls and doing my shit in the outfield, man, you were there, and I was having my little self-talks with you, man. You're there.
Well,
You're there. I'm there with you, and you're there with me, because I feel your presence, man. I
that's
feel
the
that.
thing. I'm always going to
That
be there
chat,
with you.
the way you are in the dugout, the way you just used to talk and everything else, that voice, that laugh, that smile, that little, it's all there, man. It's all embedded, buddy.
Yeah. Yeah. So, like I said, I was telling Rob last night when I went on his podcast or live cast, whatever you want to call them now, that I'm doing a benefit with my motorcycle club's doing a benefit thing for me. So we're trying to get swag, because there'll be softball people there, bats. Mark McDaniel's going to donate bats.
Oh,
Whoever else, I got to start making calls. Maybe you can make calls to people, for swag, for bats, for whatever. You know what I mean? And we're going to raffle them off. What we do is we get an arm lengths for $20, and you could put, if you see, there's a Proton or whatever's out there, or a Serna Strong bat, that you could, put all your ducks in there and buy more, so that you want to, if you really want that bat or that gear, you know what I mean? I think that's, going to be a big hit, hopefully.
I mean, I know one person, and I know you haven't had the privilege to meet him in person, but I know you talked to him, who told me he's already going to start doing some stuff, and he's going to be buying 10 of your bats to raffle in Stacy Garden. Stacy's a kind guy, unselfish, and he's always helping people. But he told me, because he put on it, because I'm getting 10 Serna bats, and I'm just going to raffle those bats for you.
Gotcha.
But I know the kind of heart he has. I could probably get him to donate some swag and mail it out there to you, whether it's a couple bats, a couple homework shirts, or whatever. I mean, I got some stuff here. Just so, I mean, if you're doing a raffle, and the bigger the pot of things that people are just going to buy raffle tickets like crazy, And, I have some dry fits, some Chihuahua shirts I can throw in there. I'll go through I'll go through some of these things over here and donate a bat for the cause. Because I was been blessed the last 2 years of just people sending me bats.
Yeah.
I still got some in the wrapper that I'm willing to help there, buddy.
Okay.
Great cause.
I mean,
put smile on your face, and just like I said, making that road a little less bumpier than it is.
Yeah.
Ready for dinner?
No, I'm okay. I don't need it.
You sure?
Thank you.
Mhm.
Oh, that was
But
for dinner.
yeah, Rocket said, I don't know if you have a Venmo or a Zeal set up, but that might not be a bad thing to do.
I think I got a Venmo. Yeah, I do
Venmo?
got a Venmo. Yeah.
Okay. What you got to do is send it to me so I can screenshot it, and then be safe,
All right.
so I can screenshot it, and then I can
Okay.
show it on my show and stuff, and say how to put that information out for you for whatever reason. I know Vicky sent you she sent you money. She
Yes.
in regards to the shirt, and I already sent her out that shirt. So bless you, Vicky. But yeah, we're all in this to you. You've been very inspiring. Kind of like what Rob says. Many people ask me how you're doing, how's it going. I mean, even Brad. Freaking Brad. I got close with Brad the last couple weeks, just talking about you, and we're just talking about things and so on and so forth, man. So
Yeah.
in a weird way, it's brought a lot of people together, my friend, supporting you.
The softball community, dude. It gets me. I'm glad of the people that I've made, friends with, and I appreciate them all, man. And all I want to do is send joy to them and show them, no matter what, man, you can get through stuff. I mean, it's hard battle for me right now, not knowing, but my thing, is what I did today is I had my pastor come in here, right, and I surrendered my life to Jesus.
Mm-hmm.
Because when I do take my last breath, I want to sit next to, see them and be with them. And it's just, it's not, it's the faith that I have to have that there is something more after this life that we all get.
Definitely there is, buddy. Definitely.
And I'm so happy that I did that, was able to do that, So and now I'm even more probably going to be more different, start reading Bibles and scripture, and just, live for him. You know what I
I'm
mean?
happy for you, man. I'm happy for that,
It's
having that personal relationship with God and Jesus, the faith, it just gives us strength during a lot of tough times,
Yeah, I
I
because
think
some
that's
people,
great.
there's a lot of people that may not believe in it, but why not believe in something that that we don't know about? And because when that day does come, hey,
Yeah. The easiest way I tell people is that having faith in God gives you more benefits than not. Like when I talk to naysayers, I don't talk about my personal religion, but sometimes you get those talks, and I used to tell people, I go, there's more benefits from it than not. So why not take a benefit?
Why not?
You know what I mean?
It's not going to
And I
kill.
was
It's not
raised
going to hurt.
Catholic. I used to go to Catholic school, and my mom's very religious and spiritual. She prays for you. So yeah, I think it's very beneficial. So
That's what I'm
one thing I
finding
do
out.
want to one thing I do want to share
No,
here. Those of you
go ahead.
watching, I'm sure Greg loves phone calls.
Yes.
And if you want to get in touch with Greg, it's South San Francisco Kaiser. So how I got through to Greg today, on my phone, I looked up South San Francisco Kaiser. I called. And then you got to go through a bunch of buttons, or you hear it out. But once you get, or dial 0 to the operator, and then it's room 77.
Yeah.
And then I'll go right to Greg. South San Francisco Kaiser, room 77. How can you forget a number like 77? 77 is the room. South San Francisco Kaiser. Just to say hi, have a conversation, talk softball, get some information on his back, whatever. Because if any of us have been in a hospital, time runs slow, man. So your 5 minutes could feel like an hour with my man here, man.
I would love to hear from people. You know what I mean? It makes my time here go by better. You know what I mean? And the gratitude that I get from hearing from people, or dude, I have people lined up outside, and it sucks because of COVID, because you only get, I get lines of 15 people out there, and they get 10 minutes to come and see me and give me a hug and just a little piece of it, which, I wish it could be longer, but I can't just have people sitting out there for hours. That's unfair. I've had people come from Sacramento and Fresno just for 10 minutes to give me a hug and tell me they love me. You know what I mean?
I feel you,
it means
man.
the world to me, man. You know what I mean? And because I'm a person that would do the same thing for anybody like that. You know me. I'd give my shirt off my back, have my back.
Right.
I would help you, and I'll help anyone in any way I can. And
Give up your Harley. I don't know that the Harley you got, man. I just want to say my good buddy Memo Felix down south is going to donate us a brand new Gen X1 bat to put towards the raffle. You can go ahead. I'll be going up there soon. If you want to, you could send it to me, or you could send it to Greg. I don't know how you want to do it. If you want to send them to me, I'm going to be seeing him shortly. I'm hoping to get up there Saturday morning. But yeah, I'll be up there.
So we'll figure it out.
If you guys want to send something to me, feel free to send it to me where I can take it here. When is this fundraiser, Greg, by chance?
October 1st. It's at the it's at my motorcycle club address. If you want to get a hold of me, go on my Facebook page, leave me a message, and I'll give you the address. We just don't put it out there for other reasons. you know, because of our motorcycle club. It's called Henchman Motorcycle Club. And, you know, we're going to have food there. We're going to have music. It's a family thing. You know what I mean? Yes, there'll be alcohol, you know, for the adults. There'll be, if you don't drink, there'll be soda pops, water, Red Bulls, whatever, you know. And it's just to get me through this time, man. And you know, my club decided to do this, not me. You know, I don't want the help because, you know, pride, which God does not like, which I got to get rid of, and I'm just gonna leave it in the hands of my Creator, and you know, and I hope to see a lot of people there. You know, the more the merrier.
You know, Greg, I understand how you feel about it. I mean, you've always been a person that stood on your own feet and made things happen and took care of yourself. But at this time, don't look at it like help. It's just love. You've given love for so many years. You've done things for so many people and just been there. So now people just want to give back that love that you gave them, man. So if they're donating things or giving you money, whatever, it's just love, my brother. Just like going to church when they got the little basket going around, you're showing your love and faith and support for somebody that's giving us love in the church. And that's all. I mean, that's the simplest way. I understand how you feel about it, but it's just people giving their gratitude and love for things you've always done. The times you've done rides, the times you've given your last shirt, the times you've given money to help someone who didn't have money to eat, you know, buying something at Twin Creeks, all those things that karma, I like to call, that just catches up. And that's when people just come out to you, my brother, and take care of you. The way you took care of people. You're getting it all at once, but over the years, you were just doing, you know, that way. So that's all it is, brother. It's just it's payback. You're getting payback to Serna. And that's what it is, my friend.
Like I say, man, treat people, you know, how you'd want to be treated. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I want to be treated with respect, love, and dignity, and that's how I treat everybody. You know, there's some people, you know, that you know, you in your life that you're going to come across and you're not going to like them, but then you're going to get in that corner where you're one-on-one and you find out, you know, you're holding this resentment against him, or, you know, that you don't like him because he's loud or obnoxious or whatever, until you get to really know the person, man. Then you go, wow, I could have had a friendship from this guy long ago, but I was stubborn. Give people chances. You know what I mean?
I call them potential friends, man. You know, even in the softball world, sometimes people say, oh, I only want to play with my friends. I go, well, make new friends. You know?
Yeah.
I mean, it's like I said, I didn't know who the fuck you were. And we became so close friends. I mean, I don't know if you remember, I shared that I saw you in Modesto. First time I saw you playing, I said, hey, my buddy needs a guy out there in Palm Springs. I want to say it was Palm Springs.
Mm-hmm.
And he went out there, and then Daryl and them saw you playing. He said, hey, man, he's back. And then next thing I know, the following weekend, yeah, we picked up Greg Serna, and we're going to Washington. I'm like, what? I always got him on this team. And then from there, our friendship developed, and it just grew for the 3 great years we had with Cinco, whooping some tail, bug sprays, our dinners, our drives, seeing the half of U.S. A lot of cherished memories. And then obviously you and I, when Cinco decided to fold it, you know, us two going over to Classic Glass, until I believe, if I remember, you had an infection in your knee that kind of shut your season down, or an injury in your knee that year, like in May.
Yeah.
But yeah, potential friends, man. A lot of people you can meet. Don't isolate yourself to making new friends. You know, give people a chance and then go from there. You never
exactly, dude.
Good message, my friend, for the day. Great message.
Yeah,
well,
I mean,
Greg,
hey, I can tell you right now, like with Jimmy Fletcher, right? I always, you know, I was like, man, this guy thinks he's all that, man. And then I got to know him. This is even before recovery. I kind of got to know him, man, and he's the most stand-up guy there is, man. He's the best guy
big
in the
heart
world
Fletcher.
to have on your side. I love that man. He's just freaking, you know, he's by my side. He's, you know, like you guys, you know, you're always checking in on me, and you know, fuck, dude, I'm just so blessed, dude. My life is full of, you know, happy joy, you know, and
No,
I
Fletcher's a
appreciate
guy
it.
who has that big heart in softball. Very generous guy, great sponsor. Another one of those guys who cares about his player and really good with his guys, man.
Yeah, you know.
But Greg, I'm gonna have to cut this short. I'm gonna have to get going. I got a league game in Gilroy at that
All
park
right.
that you hit. One of the few guys I hit in that parking lot in right center. And I'll be telling all these young bucks that I'm playing where you hit that ball. I'm happy you came on. I'm happy we got this connection that you were able to come on. You know, I didn't post anything because I know what's happened, but I wanted to be more kind of a surprise thing and stuff. And once again, I think it takes a lot to come up and acknowledge and talk to people this way, because sometimes people handle things differently. But I think the way you're going about this and just talking to people, so being Greg, the way Greg sort of Bam Bam can be, puts a warm spot in all of us, my friend.
Yeah. And just like I say, man, I love you to death, Leroy. You're my brother. You know, you'll always be till like I say, I take my last breath. And to everybody out there, man, that I know or you know of me, even if you don't know me, man, you're loved, right? You got a friend in me, you know, until I take my last breath. You know, you guys are, and I'll still be around after that last breath. I'll be with you guys watching you play this crazy game, you know, and yeah, man. I just thank you for doing this, Leroy, and being the man you are.
Well, I appreciate your kind words and everything you do, and I appreciate what everybody's told me. But you know, when you love somebody, you don't even think it's not even a job. It's not even thinking what you can do. It's just natural, my friend. Everything I've been with you, my friend, just like you with me over the years, it's just natural. It comes natural. It's not premeditated. It isn't thought out. It's just who we are, how much we care about each other, and the connections and our souls meeting each other. It's just natural, buddy.
And congratulations on your win. I knew you guys would win, you know, and you came up and you got one of those other little squares and your ring and
Yeah, the patches.
the patches, yeah. Because I know you like it, because I know what they stand for. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you're gonna get there. Your dream's coming true. You got a lot of dreams that are gonna come true. I
Well, the
believe in
ultimate
you.
one for you this year is we're trying to get the Triple Crown, man. We won our state, we won our regional. Hope we can finish this road out. It's going to be even harder road at Worlds, and that's what our goal was. And that's my goal, to win all three of the big ones this year. So that ring next year is a Triple Crown ring. I'm going to buy yours, my friend.
I think you're gonna. I believe in my heart that you guys are gonna do it, right? And I'll pray for that. You know, that you guys have, finish out the year with a bang. You know, but hopefully I'm around to see that. You know what I mean? I don't know. It's God's will, and I'll let you get going to your game, my friend.
I'll talk to you soon, my friend. But thank you for
All right,
coming
man.
on. Enjoy your evening, and I'll see you real soon. All right, man?
All right, man. Love you.
Love you too, my friend. Bye-bye.
All right. Bye.